So it is time for another indie brand review, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Emme Cosmetics and sharing with you guys my reviews for all the products that I've tried. So if you're new here, hello, my name is Katie Marie. So yeah, to kind of give you guys a little sneak peek, we have 6 eyeshadows to talk about, 2 if you want to count this little, this was a freebie sample, 1 highlighter that I bought, and also 1 of her little brushes. So that's what we're going to be going into today, and I'm going to share with you guys how they worked for me, if I recommend them, all that sort of thing. So let's just jump right into it. So let's start with the brush. I purchased the, let's see, what's the number? I don't even have the number on here, but basically it's like a little inner corner highlighter brush. At least that's what I used it the majority of the time, or honestly, because it is a bit fluffier, it would be really good to smudge out your lower lash line. With that said, I wasn't crazy about this brush. When we're talking about inner corner highlights, I feel like if you're wanting this style brush, and just looking at it on the website when I was purchasing it, I kind of had in my mind at least that it would be similar to the e.l.f. concealer brush in that it's really small, it's really compact, and it's pretty flat, so it's really great for just packing on shadows. This is a little bit bigger, but also it's fluffier. It's got more density and depth to the bristles, and it's just a little bit bigger. And then also too, there's not a whole lot of taper to the brush, so even if you're talking about smudging it out on the lower lash line, like I would typically use this type of brush, which is the Emme Cosmetics, or no, it brushes for Ulta number 221 is smudger brush. It's just, there's a lot more taper to the sides and also a softness in the bristles itself, whereas this, the taper is very drastic, I guess you would say. There's not a whole lot of taper to the sides, just kind of all cut to one length. And I mean, there's a little bit of a taper, but it's just not that much. And then we're talking about softness of the bristles. It's not the hardest thing I've ever used. I would kind of put in the realm of e.l.f. Cosmetics little, you know, I think they're $2. They used to be $1. Kind of in this realm, but even with that said, they're pretty similar. But I mean, if I'm nitpicking, I just feel like Emme Cosmetics brush, this brush, at least I only have one brush I tried, but this brush specifically is just a little bit harder. So I'll keep it around. I'll continue to use it for packing on the inner corner or every now and then when I want to smudge out my lower lash line, but I don't know if I'm just a little bit of a wimp when it comes to it. But when we're talking about my lower lash line, I like to use very soft brushes because it can be a little scratchy. But with that said, like I said, I'll continue to use it as my inner corner highlight. But overall, if you wanted to throw this in your cart, it's only a couple bucks. It's not a bad brush, but it's just not my favorite in my collection. I'll put it that way. We'll just do the eyeshadows last because I had the most of it, but I did purchase the Firefly highlighter, and then she did include in here another sample one. It's so tiny and cute. I know she included on like a piece of tape the name of this, but I didn't save it. I just threw it away because I don't think I had like that, so I'm not sure, but it is a pink kind of duochrome type of highlighter. Regardless, these two right here, they're both so pretty and stunning. I have the Firefly, which is this green. It shifts to a really pretty green. It's a very translucent. I don't know if translucent's the best word to describe it, but it's a very see-through type of highlighter, so it's not a highlighter that you put on and it's super pigmented, which I think is good because this is a green highlighter. I don't think I would want it to go on and be super duper pigmented like that. So as long as you don't mind a more of a translucent type of highlighter, I think it's an absolutely gorgeous shadow. It has a really pretty shift between gold and green, but because I said, you know, it's not super pigmented, I feel like it goes on very flattering. And if you go on very lightly and carefully, you can put it on and just kind of get a little wash of color, just a little bit of highlight, just a little bit of glow to your face that really stands out when it hits the sun or hits the light, that type of thing. Or like today, I went on a little bit heavier to really get it on there, and I feel like if you catch the light, it shows up green, which I feel like complements the look, but just looking straight on, you really don't see it. There's no kind of white cast to it, which I really appreciate it, because there are definitely highlighters out there that while they look beautiful, glowing, and very white or shifting color or whatnot, I feel like straight on it can give a very significant and obvious white cast to your face before you see that shift to green. I definitely have had highlighters in the past do that when we're talking about colorful highlighters, so I really like that this, it's almost like invisible, just a littlest bit of glow to my face when I'm looking straight on into a mirror or into the camera. I can see a little bit of glow, but you really don't notice any kind of white cast. It doesn't look like I have chalk on the top of my cheekbones or anything like that, but then I turn and you can just catch that really pretty shift of green, and I think it's just so beautiful and really ties in my look together formula wise and like longevity. Oh, I didn't even say I do have it as my inner corner highlight today as well, so that's what you're seeing not only on my face as a highlighter, but in my inner corner. I love it for both of those purposes. I feel like practically I'll probably use it most as an inner corner highlight, and it's gonna live with my singles collection, but it's great as a face highlight. When we're talking about wear, it has a really great wear. I noticed this at the end of the day, no problem. I put it on and I can see it all day. I do feel like it almost comes across as like a hidden highlighter, because sometimes I'll look in the mirror and be like, oh, is my highlighter all gone? And then I'll turn and be like, oh no, there's that green shine. So it does have that aspect to it of not being like, it's not one of those, you know, I wouldn't exactly title it from my personal experience as something that you can see from space type of highlighter. But it is a very graceful, beautiful, glowing highlighter that you can amp up up and I feel like get a really, really pretty glow. And as I said, it really wears well all day, and also on my inner corner, which I think is impressive because my inner corner tends to get the wettest throughout the day just with my eyes being so watery. But even with them watering up and me dabbing at them and whatnot throughout the day, I still feel like I can see it and it hangs on relatively well. If my eyes water enough, it'll be mostly gone, but all things considered, I'm always impressed by how long it hangs on or how well it hangs on throughout the day. So overall, I'm really impressed with her highlighters. I love that I have this very unique type of highlighter in my collection, and not only in my collection for my highlight, but in my singles collection. There was one day that I did a look and I just used this highlighter all over my lid, and it really came across as a very intense type of eyeshadow, and it had the most beautiful glow. I did it with a yellow look. I'll leave linked up here if I can remember the video, or go back and look at the video, but it was so, so beautiful. I absolutely loved how it turned out, and I think it just looks so cool, and I love that I can use this highlighter not only as a highlighter, but as an inner corner highlighter, or as if I want, all over my lid, and it looks stunning in person. It's not like metallic or anything when you use it, but it still has a beautiful glow. It has a beautiful shiftiness to it that I really like, and I was very impressed with how it looked on my eyes. And then moving on to the eyeshadows, this is the last thing I have. This is a very short brand review, but this is all that I tried with my first order, and I got 3 shimmers and 3 mattes. One of the mattes I had to get because it's this one. It's named Olivia. How cute and pretty is that? So I had to pick that one up, and that was honestly one of the biggest reasons I was like, I want to order from this brand because it has the name Olivia in it, and it's a green, so I had to get it. Anyway, for today's look, I used Olivia, then I used this darker green, which is called Palm Tree, in kind of to deepen up my crease, and then also a little bit in my outer corner. And then I used this shade, which is lime green, all over my lid, and then I used this one, which is avocado, kind of on the inner half of my lid. And as I said, I used Firefly highlighter as my inner corner highlight. Overall, I am super impressed. Not only is the shimmer beautifully pressed, like I love her logo M stamped into the shimmers. I kind of wish it was stamped into the mattes too, but that's neither here nor there. I like that little added detail. It's very, very pretty. Her shimmers are pretty. They are nothing metallic. They are nothing like intensely foiled or wet looking when they're on the eyes, at least for me personally. But when we're talking about a good formula shimmer, they are absolutely stunning. And if you're someone who likes shimmers and you don't really want that metallic, that wet looking aspect to your eyeshadows, I think you're going to be super duper happy with her shadows. They're very pigmented. They're very easy to work with. They pick up so beautifully with a brush. They go on no problems, and I'm so impressed with the quality of them. Like I said, don't grab this and expect it to be foiled and metallic, but if you're wanting a shimmer, I think you'll be extremely pleased with the quality that you find in her shimmers. They're just so easy to work with when it comes to brushes. I'm someone who I just don't like using my fingers if I don't have to, and the fact that I can use pretty much any type of flat type of brush, even a fluffier type of brush, and these pick up so easily. They're so pigmented, they're so smooth going on, they're so easy to build up. It's just a dream to work with. And while there are some shadows that, you know, look really pretty on the lid, they can be a pain to put on, or they could just be a flaky mess. I didn't experience that at all with these shimmers. They were just, like I said, I keep going on and on, round in circles. They're a breeze to work with. I really do like them. They're not going to be my favorite when it comes to what I want to have on my eyes, because personally I like the metallic or wet looking when it comes to shimmer on my eyes. I want it to just be really wet looking and metallic. So these were definitely kind of just a soft eye look. Like my eye look today, it's really pretty, but it's just a softer kind of sparkle. It's a softer kind of shimmer on my eyes than I personally prefer. Yeah, I'm just going to go on and on, round in circles. They're very nice. Don't expect metallic, but if you're wanting shimmer, they are beautiful. Moving over to the mattes, again, so beautiful. I kind of kick myself because I'm someone who really likes deepening out and smoking out a look, and I didn't buy any shadows that you could smoke out a look, so that's totally my fault, but I did pick up these 3, so I used them to complement other looks, and then I also used them just exclusively to see how Emme Cosmetics shadows and shimmers, you know, her mattes and shimmers work together. So I've used them a lot this past month, and they are really nice. This is a little light, but again, it's a light color, but it's just a little light for my skin tone, so it's definitely a shade that I had to work a little bit to build up, but I like that versatility and the fact that you can take this, and you see how like very pale it is against my skin, and so the first time I use it, it shows up very true to color, but I could kind of keep going on, and I got a little bit more depth and grunge out of this green than I was expecting. So they build up on each other really nice, they blend into each other really nicely, they're extremely pigmented, and they look pigmented on a brush, they look pigmented on your eyes, they look pigmented in a finger swatch, they look pigmented on your arm. They are pigmented, but not too pigmented. You know how people can can say like Menagerie Cosmetics, her formula is so pigmented and beautiful, but you gotta be careful. That's not what you're gonna find here. These are beautifully pigmented. They're so smooth, they're so intense, but I found them very easy to work with. And again, like I said, I didn't get any very deep colors to really see how deep these colors could go and how easy they would be to blend out. That was totally my fault. But when we're talking about these colors, I found them so easy to work with. I never once put a color down and was just like, oh shoot, that's too much, I need to keep blending, and I had to work at it. No, I would put this down, I would get a really pretty color. I never saw any skipping, any patching, any kind of weird grabbing onto my shadow, and I typically use a sticky base. Never had any of that, and they just blend so easily. These were shadows that I could grab, and I didn't really have to think, I didn't really have to work at it. I could honestly kind of check out and just do my makeup, and the end results would be so pretty. And they're just a dream to work with. If you're someone who likes pigmented shadows, but you don't want to have to be too careful, or you know, subculture, there's a lot of eyeshadows that are so pigmented and beautiful, but you have to be careful. These are not the case, at least in my personal experience. I feel like they would be fantastic for a beginner who is stepping into makeup and really wants to learn how to, you know, do their makeup, how to work with eyeshadows, and still wants nice pigment. So you guys have seen me wearing them in the past month, and I've just been so very impressed. Oh my goodness, I think my lash popped up, so I'm sorry if you had to look at that. These are new lashes, and I feel like the first time you wear lashes, I also had a hair on my face. That is so annoying. I'm so sorry. Anyway, the first time I wear false lashes, they always are too stiff. Anyway, moving on, the mattes are beautiful, and I cannot recommend their mattes and shimmers. If you don't mind a soft shimmer, I cannot recommend their eyeshadow formula enough. Emme Cosmetics has a special formula, and they hit it out of the park, and I remember Amy raving about them and saying they were a hidden gem when it comes to single shadows in the indie world, and she is totally right. I can't recommend them enough. I'm not someone who wants to say like, you need this, you need to go get it right now, but if you're someone who's looking for some single shadows and you're looking at all these different indie brands that are out there, yes, there are a lot of great indie brands. I'm not saying that any of the other ones are bad, but there's something special when it comes to this formula right here, and especially with her mattes. I want more. What can I say? I want more mattes from her. The mattes are just so beautiful. So anyway, yeah, that's gonna do it for my indie brand review of Emme Cosmetics. I am so very impressed. As I mentioned, I'll leave link down below. Amy Loves Makeup did a video not too long ago, and she's the one who inspired my purchase of these shadows from Emme Cosmetics. But I hope you guys found this review helpful and informative, and let me know your thoughts down below. Have you tried Emme Cosmetics? I would love to hear what your experience has been with them. What shadows have you tried from them, or what products have you tried from her? Let me know if there's a eyeshadow I should pick up that you really like and enjoy, and yeah, let me know what you think. If you have not tried Emme Cosmetics, are you curious to try? Have you checked out her website? If you have, what product are you eyeing the most? I would love to hear. And yeah, with all that said, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys found this video helpful or informative. And if you did, please give this video a thumbs up, as it helps me in the whole YouTube algorithm. If you want to continue getting content from me, I post just about every day on my Instagram, and I'm LadyKatie92 over there. But yeah, with all that said, thank you once again so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye guys.